labs in multiple countries across the world. The Cognizant family has a strength of 281k employees globally. We believe in the power that women bring to an organization, and we are proud of the strong women who lead us with passion and integrity. Cognizant has also been named by Forbes America's Best Employers for Diversity 2019 and Best Employers for Women 2018. Choosing your first organization can be tough, especially if you're looking to working with exciting technologies of the future. We've got you covered. We have been recognized as leaders in technological innovation in fields such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, cognitive cloud computing, big data and analytics, IoT, robotic automation, and other technologies that are driving businesses and industries. We have forged strong partnerships with top players in digital technology to bring our clients the best solutions available today. We've partnered with Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Oracle, Google, and other leaders for collaborative experiences and benefits that we can pass on to our clients. At Cognizant, we are constantly innovating, and we welcome fresh ideas from all employees. The Innovation Hub harnesses the strengths of multiple collaboratories, competencies, and AORs to build best-of-breed solutions. You bring the idea. We will provide the technology to make businesses work. As an agile organization, we never stop. We never relent. Apart from working with digital, we also work closely with academic institutions, partnering with them to provide mentorship from company experts. When you are a part of Cognizant, you not only ideate and execute, but you also learn and reskill to stay relevant. We get this question a lot. Potential recruits are keen to know what their career trajectory looks like at Cognizant. In the next few slides, we'll take you through your learning and growth plans. Our proclivity to create high-performing individuals that have CXO roles in their career trajectory is a well-documented phenomenon. Just take a look at these features in India's top newspapers. Every associate at Cognizant lives by the 3L credo: life, long, learning. We invest heavily in the future of our associates. We believe not just in hiring based on current competencies, but also on your ability to constantly learn and upskill yourself to meet the needs of an ever-changing marketplace. At Cognizant, you will have opportunities to learn and grow within your own as well as cross-disciplinary competencies. We invest in your future by providing training in both cross-skilling and deep disciplinary expertise, otherwise known as T-shaped skills. No learning is worthwhile unless it solves real-time problems, which is why we have a holistic approach to learning here at Cognizant. Our training modules, while academically administered, equip you to handle practical solutions effectively. Skill Up is an annual training module that sets you up for success in the workplace. It consists of 2 skills that are determined by the needs of your business unit, BU, and your core competencies. No matter what your aspirations are, here at Cognizant, we always equip you to realize them. Here's a quick look at what your career path could look like. What's so exciting about Cognizant? All healthy relationships are based on trust. You need trust in order to collaborate. You need it in order to innovate. You need it in order to lead. Here at Cognizant, our relationships are based on the speed of trust. When the trust works both ways, relationships begin to gain strength. More than 10,000 internships solely in the year 2020 should be proof of that. At Cognizant, you will find one of the highest and most fruitful internship opportunities in the industry. The words unity and diversity have never rung truer than in Cognizant. Here we celebrate our differences and strive to create a culture of diversity and inclusion. We have a range of programs, events, and groups that facilitate this culture, from mentoring programs during the pandemic in 29 countries, touching the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Let's be honest, this is the part you sat through this entire video for. None of this matters if we don't make it worth your while. And that we will. At Cognizant, you can rest assured that your compensation is well above industry standards. Apart from our stellar compensation packages, our benefits are in a class of their own. From health and wellness, health insurance, employee assistance, paid vacation days, as well as family and parenting support, Cognizant goes that extra mile to show you that we truly care about our employees. There's something for everyone here at Cognizant. We empower you to achieve your dreams. We celebrate diversity and inclusivity. We make long-lasting impacts on communities. We are constantly learning and evolving. We, at our core, a truly global company. We trust that we've addressed your questions. We are excited to have you participate in our recruitment drive and look forward to building lifelong relationships with you. Thank you.
Team Cognizant welcomes students of 2021 batch from reputed engineering institutions across India for our pre-placement engagement session. We hope all of you are keeping safe and healthy during this unprecedented times of COVID-19 pandemic. The intention behind this session is to connect with you all virtually to elaborate on our plans for the season in line with our purpose. We engineer modern businesses to improve everyday life. We would like to keep this as interactive as possible and hope to provide clarity on some of the questions you may have. Towards this effort, let me introduce you to Maya Srikumar, Assistant Vice President, Gen Z Program Head. Maya joined us as a trainee in Cognizant with her 24 years experience in project delivery in US and Europe, business operations, heading quality engineering and assurance for various industry domains. She joined HR to lead the design and implementation of Cognizant's career architecture program, develop digital skilling strategies for our associates. Her business experience, skilling, and development strategy for entry level brings her to her new role as Cognizant Gen Z, which is Generation Cognizant, as we call it internally, and she is the program head for that program. A woman leader who multitasks effortlessly and a key contributor in our diversity and inclusion initiatives, she conceptualized Be Gritty, a flagship initiative in developing women who join as freshers towards a long, sustainable career goal. She's based out of Coimbatore and heads our operations for Cognizant Coimbatore Center, which hosts approximately 16,000 employees. Maya, to begin with, could you outline our approach and renewed process that intends to offer opportunities to students with diverse skills and abilities, please?
Hey, thanks, Vandana, for that wonderful introduction. So before I get into explaining the selection process and criteria, etc., I just want to take a moment to explain why redefined process and what are we trying to do in the organization this year when we are selecting the talent from colleges. So the first thing is, as all the students and various stakeholders know by now, Cognizant undergone multiple changes over the past 18 months under our new leadership, new CEO. And we had COVID as well as another ransomware attack coming up in the mid of this year. Now, all of these together has kind of shaped the organization. I would reshape the organization, I would say. And through this process, we, as a leadership team and as an organization, we always said our entry level talent, which we call as the Gen Zs, are the backbone to the organization. They are the future of the organization. How have we been selecting them? How have we been nurturing them, developing them, deploying them in projects? Went through multiple discussions over the past few months. A result of that was a renewed look into the whole program itself. And that's how I came into picture as the end-to-end program head. There are a few changes that we're bringing in this year. So specifically to your question on, so what is changing in the current year selection process? The reason for the Gen Z talent and the areas that they get to work is becoming a prime focus, which means if you look at our revenue and what share of revenue comes from digital business, it's almost 40% of our revenue is from digital business areas. And there is tremendous demand for our entry level talent and Gen Zs to be ready with those kind of skills. So we wanted to see what do we need to do to attract the best from the campuses who bring that kind of what we call as the digital battleground skills like cloud, IoT, analytics, all of that. And so we are introducing a new channel called Gen Z Next, which looks at evaluating, selecting, and attracting the best of the students who come with certain set of predefined capabilities towards technology transformation. So that's something new we are introducing. There are some other changes which I'll explain when I'm walking you through the selection process. So let me bring up the presentation that was shared with all the students and colleges few weeks back. Let me know when you can see this.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So this is something all of you would be familiar with. Now, if I were to walk you through the selection process, like I said, there are a few changes we have brought in. Like the first one is we are introducing the Gen Z Next, as I said just now. So there are two tracks of hiring. One is Gen Z and Gen Z Next. Both Gen Z and Gen Z Next will start with a round one, which has aptitude, code debugging, and a narrative essay writing. Aptitude is like 70 minutes, and it has a narrative part as well, which is another 30 minutes, but it's a 250 words essay, and that shouldn't take 30 minutes. Based on the internal cutoff we have for code debugging and aptitude, the higher cutoff, they will move into Gen Z Next. For example, the students who got maybe 80% and more for both could be one. So that's something that is more internal to Cognizant. But high end of aptitude and code debugging will go into Gen Z Next. We have a cutoff for Gen Z as well. So anybody who got above that cutoff and who are below the Gen Z Next cutoff will move into the round two of Gen Z. So I'll first cover Gen Z and then come to the Gen Z Next. So what happens in the round two of the Gen Z interview is there is a technical evaluation. Technical is like more a subject matter expertise in the subjects you have learned as a part of your engineering curriculum. And then there is a interview evaluating your cognitive abilities, your attitude, communication skills, etc. So that is the round two. If you clear round two, then you are eligible for our offer, which is at 4 lakhs, and after probation it is 4.5. Now, if you go to Gen Z Next, as I said, if you scored high percentage in both, then you will go into Gen Z Next, and Gen Z Next has got two more rounds, that is round 2 and round 3. In round 2, abilities, etc. And this will be done in two parts. In one sitting, but it will have two parts to be done. And if you clear the round 2, then you will go into round 3, which is the in-person. In-person, I mean, there will be a panel, which is the business unit panel that will be looking at utilizing you into the right role once you join. So that round 3 will be a panel evaluation where there will be a problem statement given. You will have to code along with that panel. and there will be certain capabilities that we evaluate in that interview. So that will be round 3. If you get selected in round 3, then you will move into the offer and you will get the 6.75. You are eligible for the 6.75 lakh offer. Now, if you did not clear round 2, then you are eligible to sit in the round 2 of Gen C. Same way, if you don't clear round 3, then also you can sit in the round 2 of the Gen C interview. And if you get selected there, then you are eligible for the Gen C off. So basically, it's not that Gen C next becomes an elimination. If you don't clear, then you can still sit in the Gen C interview and be eligible for our off. So this at a high level is the selection process this year. Now, what is one change that we have introduced after selection is you would have to be ready for Cognizant, because what we look at all of our offers or the selects, campus selects, is to be ready for business from day one, which means it helps you, it helps Cognizant, right? And how can we do that when you are in your 8th semester and when you're waiting for the joining into Cognizant? How can you be ready for Cognizant is what we have been thinking. So the internship which you have to do in your 8th semester, that we are last year also we offered, in 2020 we had almost 5,300 interns, and 2019 we had 2,300 interns. And all the interns who have done internship with us have been extremely happy with the program that they've gone through, and almost like 95% joined us after the internship. So this year also we are introducing, and we want almost all of the recruits to go through it. We are offering it to everyone. Whoever is willing to do it, that is something that we would recommend to everyone. If you're not able to do internship, then we would want you to go through a set of training programs and certification so that you're ready for Cognizant when you join. So that's this is something that we have been kind of telling last year and year before, but this time we are kind of putting it in front of the students itself that you need to be available for this and be ready for Cognizant. So this in a nutshell is the overall process, Vandana.
Great, Maya. I think it was very well covered. So students always have this doubt, right? What are the different technologies I will be working on when I join Cognizant? Could you elaborate on that?
See, Cognizant has 6 areas of specialization, I would say. So if you look at 300,000 employees or 3 lakh employees of almost approximately of Cognizant, you could think that almost 90% of them are in 6 or 7 towers of our work area, which is like digital business, as I said earlier, which looks into the artificial intelligence and analytics, IoT. Then there is an area called interactive, which handles the user experience and the various interactive part of the applications. That's one tower. Then the second is digital engineering, which looks at the whole full stack engineering, product management, product engineering. Then fourth, we have the application development and maintenance tower, then quality engineering and assurance, another one, and cloud infrastructure and security as the last tower. So these are the kind of, I would say, 6 towers in which any of our campus selects will be working on after they are skilled and ready. Now, depending on the demand of the business and the graduate, then obviously you are you have a potential to work in a digital engineering or a digital business, because you would come with certain set of capabilities as you join Cognizant. But all this is like a even if you are not computer science, you could be in digital engineering or digital business, provided you did some technical skilling earlier itself and you got high scores in your code debugging and analytical evaluation. Then you could be in digital engineering. So it's not that 100% is predefined, but we have an algorithmic model in which you would be assigned to a certain work area. So those are the different areas that you would work on.
Okay. So if a candidate does not have any knowledge about programming in languages such as C, C++, right? Would they still be considered to join Cognizant given that they possess different skills?
Absolutely. So as I explained in our selection process, we do not differentiate anyone when they write the test, right? So we are going to have all the eligible engineering college students to take our test, whichever background it is. And if you possess a technical skill and a language skill, then yes, we would be identifying such students to work in some of the areas where there is no more learning curve, right? They are coming with that skill. But if you did not have that, then you will go through either internship or a specific training program, and you will be put into, if there is an opportunity exists in that area, then you will go there, or you might work in some of the modernization or a digital kind of adjacency area, and then move into a core digital no later. Everything is dependent on how are you able to demonstrate your capability in solving a customer problem in the initial months of your work with Cognizant.
Okay. So, given this, right, will Cognizant hire candidates for differential package apart from the base package that they offer?
See, this is something we have been debating internally as well, because a lot of colleges have approached us saying that they have a set of students who are certified in Salesforce, cloud, SAP, and various other products. So we have been hiring in the last year and the year before as well. We started looking at students with certain specific skill capability that can jumpstart their career in Cognizant. This year also we are doing that specifically in cybersecurity, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Temenos, which is a banking product, SAP, etc. We are still looking at a skill-based hiring, but the numbers and when will we start, that is still work in progress.
Okay. So, Maya, there is a lot of debate and question around code debugging, right? So, students always ask us, what if I don't score as much in the debugging part of it? Is there a negative marking? So, could you just throw a little light on that, Maya, on the code debugging part?
Yeah, so to explain the genesis of this code debugging itself as a selection process engine, a part of the selection process engine, is because Cognizant as a technology services organization and one of the world's leading technology service organization, the demand for a student to be ready for business is like shortening, right? We want them to be as ready as possible. So earlier we used to identify 20, 25,000 students with a certain aptitude test score. And then we used to just map them to any area depending on when they join and demand. And all. It was like 100% fungibility, right? 25,000 could be in digital engineering. There was no digital engineering, but any high-end work or any other work in the spectrum. But over the last 2 years, since from the time we introduced code debugging, the objective was to identify the students, CSIT or non-CSIT, who come with a certain debugging or a coding capability as much possible. So that's how we introduced. So what I want to call out for everybody's understanding, because this question, as you said, Vandana, comes up all the time. Code debugging is a engine which will help us identify students who are already half ready in certain set of skills. Should circuit and non-circuit attempt it? Yes, you should attempt it. If you don't know to do any of that, code debugging questions, if you don't know to address any of that, make an attempt and leave it there. If you are unable to attempt, that's okay. Would your scores be considered? So you would be taking an analytical test and you will be taking code debugging. If you scored, if you are a mechanical engineer and you couldn't attempt any of the code debugging and it is 0, that's fine. See, for us, the analytical score is what is most important. Code debugging is important in identifying the projects that you move into. So that is what I want you to keep in mind, that if you got a high score in code debugging, then your chances of working in a digital project becomes higher in the beginning itself. For the others, you will have to go through a training. And as I said in the beginning, it might take few more months for you to prove, and then you will get an opportunity.
Great. So, Cognizant has always been somebody who has been giving internship opportunities, as you pointed out at the beginning itself, Maya. So, would that be continued this year as well at scale?
Yeah. As I said, yes, this year also we are going to do that. This year, as a program head, I would be more than happy if all our campus selects can do internship with us, because that will help you experience Cognizant. Because this time, with a 100% virtual mode of going through this entire selection process, interview, and when you join, it is like 6 to 7 months gap. So the internship will help you virtually understand Cognizant a lot more. And like I said, last 2 years, our experience has been all the students who did internship with us. Uh, you could ask anyone. 100% have been extremely happy about the internship they did and the work they got and the whole experience in Cognizant. So that is our goal, to give scaled internship for everyone, and then no, they'll be excited about joining Cognizant. I also want to add there have been questions on can we do internship along with their studies, right? So which means late in the night, early in the morning, so that their daytime college work is not affected. Yes, you are. No, that's possible this time. Last year we couldn't do that, right? Because you had to be in the office the premises to do the internship. So any guidelines and criteria once you get selected, or once you are in the interview process, if you want to know more about it, you could ask for the details as well. But one or two highlights I would say is, though we are saying the internship is 3 to 6 months, which is more a flexibility because of exams and various other things that could come, because of which the 4 months no sometimes became a challenge, because they after 3 months students will go for preparation for the exam, and then there's a 4 week break, and then when they come back, we wanted it could from an elapsed time it could be a little longer. So that's why we said 3 to 6 months. But there will be some clear constructs about the internship on how many hours you should have spent, what is the completion criteria. There will be a business that you will be aligned with. The business would interview you, and you will have to clear some of those assessments and interviews with the business. So there will be a process, but then all those are a part of the induction into Cognizant or any technology company. That so you need not look at it as okay, will it be so tough? The whole objective is for you to learn and be ready for Cognizant.
Okay. So having said that, right, how long is the training period at Cognizant typically?
This is another area where I want to say things have started changing so much in technology industry itself when it comes to the dedicated training period post joining. I'm sure all of you know that most of the companies have started rethinking about this 3 months training or 2 months or 4 months training post joining, because all of us want you to be productive from day one, and there is some time before you join which can be used. So coming to the specific question on what is the training period, it is aligned to the internship and the training and certification that I said in the beginning of the selection process, where if you are a Cognizant select, then you will have to be ready for Cognizant either through an internship or through a set of virtual training programs and assessments that we are going to do. If for some reason you're not able to do that, then you will be getting a dedicated training period post you join. For all the others who have done internship or the virtual certifications and trainings through Cognizant, you will be undergoing maybe a 2 to 3 week of training program post you join Cognizant, which is primarily to make you ready to the business that you're moving into. Because you might have done internship with a digital business or with application development and maintenance, but when you join, the demand could be in some other area, and then we might want to just make you ready for that business area in 2 to 3 weeks time. So I see that this is how the training could look like. It will not be like a cookie cutter approach of okay, you join and then there will be 3 months training and then you move to business. That it will be a mix of multiple models of readiness that you will have to be before you move into business.
Okay, so associates, once they join, right, will they be given a chance to choose a domain? For example, I want to get into a business development once I have people skills. I want to do, non-core engineering roles. Will they be given a chance to do that at a later point in time, Maya?
Yeah, the last part that you said as a later point in time for non-core engineering, yes, we would consider. But as you join Cognizant, you all have been evaluated for a technology work, and we would want 100% of them to move into technology work. And how will you get assigned to certain areas? Like I said, that we have a AI algorithm that looks at your graduation, your external certifications and other credentials you have, your selection process scores, and if you've done internship and the other training and certification. Based on all of that is where a recommended business unit or a service line or area of work or a domain gets attached to you, and then you move into that area. So the expectation from the organization is for you to be continuing in that area for maybe 18 months to 2 years for sure, right? As you can imagine, it's not easy to continuously move people between domains as you work. So there has to be some continuity. But we have always encouraged our employees or our associates to look for other roles and move. And that kind of learning and experience and readiness is something that we always look. So always that opportunity exists after some time joining Cognizant.
Great. So, as a leader who has championed career architecture, right? What would a typical engineer's role look like, in terms of a fresher when they join Cognizant?
Typically, when you enter the organization, there are three roles that you would, one of the three roles that you would do. One is developer, which is hard coding. No, all the time, what is expected out of developer is to write the code in the best way and transform the customer's business through that highly efficient, effective code. So you could be a developer. That's where I have seen 60 to 70% of the the young fresh graduates would fall under. Second role is called the analyst. Analyst is a role where you would work on existing projects, look at enhancements, do the kind of maintenance on those existing applications. But there also you get to do automation and innovation, etc. And the third is more on the cloud and quality assurance and all those areas, infrastructure. That's the third area. So between these three roles, you would get one of the role. But irrespective of which of the role you fall in, whether it's a hardcore developer or an analyst or a infra quality assurance automation expert or a lead, all are important areas to work on. So it's not that if you started as a developer in Python or in an area that uses core technology skills, you will also have to know how to maintain applications, and you will also have to know how the infrastructure, cloud area, all that are done. So whichever area you join, it's all a learning in the first 2 years to develop some depth and breadth.
In terms of career growth at Cognizant, would it be the same for CS and non-CS students, Maya? Because this is again one more repetitive questions that students ask.
Yeah, I can say that all the campus placement talks that have gone in the last 10 years, 12 years, this is a standard question that comes, that I'm a mechanical engineer, will my growth be very different from a CSIT? See, I would say today I can very confidently say that it depends on you, completely depends on you. And what it means is, I see the career with an organization like Cognizant as not just a company, right? In a technology organization, wherever you are, it's a 25 to 30 or much longer career with technology as the focus. And if you are new to technology and programming, you might take the first 1 year or 18 months to get used to it. But if you look at the 30 years long career, you will even out very fast. If you are a smart engineer or a graduate, the way you will drive yourself to pick up new skills, learn new things, be that equivalent or bridge the gap between a computer science and you, because you're with a technology organization. Let's accept that being ready for future by continuously reskilling, upskilling, cross-skilling is the need of the hour. That's why I'm saying, will your career growth be impacted because you are a non-CSIT? Absolutely not. Because career growth is not when you join today, right? It takes no minimum 2 to 3 years for you to get to the next level. And it's not about the level or designation, right? It's like, how are you shaping your career in a technology organization? So you will have enough opportunities to level that gap and fast track your career, like CSIT or even differently if you want to.
All right. So for someone who's tech savvy, I have a great business idea, right? Does Cognizant encourage innovation and new ideas?
As I'm sure students and Vandana, Cognizant is known for the innovative business transformation and solutions that we have brought to customers. Even in our pre-placement talk video, you have seen that. So the innovation is at the heart of every solution, customer solution that we provide. So if you are someone who is always having that bent to think of new ideas, implement that, there are enough and more opportunities in the project that you will get. And someone who is extraordinarily smart in providing that innovation opportunities continuously to customer. There are some tracks, I mean, specific tracks within the business unit that kind of creates a venture opportunity. So if I want to, I have a great idea for a banking fintech area or a life sciences area. And I want to present that, and I want to get a funding to even try that idea. Such opportunities itself exist in Cognizant, where you could even start your own venture seeded by Cognizant Fund. So don't even think about the opportunities that exist in Cognizant for trying out new ideas in innovation. It's no, everywhere and always there.
Having said that, right, performance is extremely important for young minds and graduates. So, how do you think, as a process, performance management is tracked for our associates internally, Maya?
See, Cognizant follows a very development-focused and feedback-oriented performance management philosophy. No, and it looks at identifying and rewarding the best performers. That is like hard-coded into our DNA. So the this feedback, how do you give feedback? How are managers involved in giving feedback in a continuous way? Is all managed through a system called Go Perform, where quarterly goals are set. So for all of us as employees, we all have quarterly goals, and our supervisors will evaluate our performance based on that quarterly goals. And then there is a year-end feedback given, and year-end appraisal, performance appraisal process that happens, where your performance feedback and the kind of scoring, so to say, is done. But I would say that, like in any organization which is which has the scale, it has its own nuances that apply when it comes to feedback and growth and performance appraisal, etc. But I would say that we have a very robust process at this point, and our fresh graduates are going to like it when they join. The new thing that we've introduced in the last 2-3 years is how are you developing yourself for the future? And it's not just about the work you do in that year, but how have you continuously upskilled and done some extra certifications, developed some prototypes? What all have you done additionally to prove that you're ready for future in that business area? All that goes into your performance feedback and growth.
Yeah, as you rightly out, Maya, fungibility, learnability, and adaptability are 3 key things that we always look for in young minds. So have that in mind. What kind of exposure would an employee get, if at all? This question of on-site opportunity is going to be a possibility this year, Maya.
Yeah, the on-site opportunity itself, as all of you know, in the first 5 or 7 years, it seems to be a kind of a challenge because of the macroeconomic situations in the world. But if you get an opportunity, then you will get the experience to interact with our customers, work on some of the direct projects with them, interact with them, and have a completely different learning experience being there. Right? So that's our employment contract driven in such a way to get those experience. And you could work in any geo, any place through that.
Okay, so we now move to the social and the life at Cognizant part. Could you outline some social engagement activities, especially for women empowerment, given that you drive a lot of diversity and inclusion initiatives in Cognizant?
See, I might need 8 hours to just explain that. So the amount of activities that we do as an organization towards not just women, right, but girls in schools, and identifying various areas, various segments where we can develop women for employability. For example, in Coimbatore itself, we have a set of schools, the schools which has just the girl kids, students studying, and then introducing the technology as a program, active listening, some of those behavioral development programs, introducing them. That's one segment. In Hyderabad, I know that we have a program called Margdarshak, and where it's an initiative with the Cyberbad Security Council. And it looks at the whole integration between the security, the police officers, and the Cognizant. Not only Cognizant has played a key role in creating that program, but it's towards the safety of women. Then there are other initiatives in Bangalore, as everywhere. So I don't want to go into each of the detail, but the number of programs that we do to develop women across India to make them employable, either as a livelihood extension or to develop them from pure employability in a technology area, or even the PW, the physically challenged women as well, right? And this is not just women, right? This is applicable to many, but we have very specific women-oriented programs as well in focus here.
So having said that, right, there are no specific women-centric roles. It's more a diverse and inclusive organization, isn't it, Maya?
Absolutely. Whenever this question comes, no, there are employees who come and say this to me that they can we have very specific roles for women. I said, why would you want to do that? I mean, any role, all of us should be able to. There is no difference between that. Yes, but there are certain times in life where we would want to play some not so challenging roles, and then because we want to balance some of the priorities in life at that time, and such roles will exist, but that is not called out as women role or anything like that. But through what I would highlight is more than the roles that exist for women specifically, it is about the programs that we do for women in Cognizant, our employees, to ensure that they are having a sustainable long-term career with Cognizant. No, we have a maternity transition program, which is something that we introduced a few years back, which looks at upskilling and reskilling women who have gone on maternity leave, because many times they take a 6 months or 1 year break, and they would be really worried about coming back and competing with the set of young workforce who might have gone through multiple skill changes in that year. So those are the kind of focus areas we do to ensure that they are continuously ready to challenge the future and be ready for Cognizant. Also, some data points I would say is 50% of our campus hires in India in the last year were women. And then as of now, 50% of our board of directors, in the US Foundation, Cognizant US Foundation, they are women. And there are 4 women directors in our Cognizant board. And then in 2019, overall, if you look at the hires that we made, 40% of the Cognizant total hires we made were for women. So I think all this put together, Vandana, shows the focus we have, and I'm sure you are seeing that the passion with which I speak about this topic itself. No, so that's a focus we have.
Absolutely, Maya, because women as career-oriented people, right? This question, I think you kind of beautifully elaborated all these transitions women have in the organization, and I think it gives a great confidence for young graduates, especially if you want to pursue a career in IT. The last question, Maya, is a very soft angle, right? It's these kind of children or students want to always give back to society, and all of us as Cognizant associates are very proud about our outreach program, right? So, how can one take part in the Cognizant outreach program once they join Cognizant?
See, Outreach in Brief is our employee volunteering platform. And at every location, we have got an outreach unit that looks at opportunities in that location, whether it is in the area of education, environment, conservation, or community welfare, or pro bono activities. And what I have seen in this 24 years in Cognizant is that every year, the number of employees, especially the fresh graduates who join, we actually have introduced it as a part of the Gen Z program itself. So to the schools and some of the areas that I go in weekends, I see that a lot of youngsters come and they spend their day with the students there, teaching them, etc. So it has become like a part of everyday life in Cognizant, where you could contribute in whichever way you want through volunteering in the areas that I said. And we are one of the organizations in India that has done the maximum volunteering and made an impact to the society at large. And to the extent, we provide multiple scholarships to students. We have a program called 100 to the power 4, where we look at students who get, we train them, we kind of sponsor, provide scholarship if you're really great at your academics. And Vandana, there are so many college, school students who have gone through all of these levels through the Cognizant support and have joined Cognizant itself. Now that's the beauty of this whole outreach, where whatever we do, they come and give back to Cognizant again through volunteering, and they do it at a scale of power 10. And I mean, I can again go on and on the set of activities that we do through outreach, but all I can say is the opportunity is like plenty for everyone in whichever area you want to contribute to make an impact in the society.
Great. I think beautifully, outlined what Cognizant is in a nutshell, Maya. Thank you so much. I think beyond this, if somebody has any doubt about why they should join Cognizant, you shouldn't absolutely, have any iota of doubt as to why you should join Cognizant. Thank you, Maya, for outlining beautifully what Cognizant has in store for young graduates.
Thanks, Vandana. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Hello, everybody. We are going live now, so which means the posted questions that you have on the chat box will be answered. It's our attempt to answer most of your questions, and apart from what you have heard just now, for those of you who have missed this hearing session, please ensure that you take it from your placement office and go through the link so that you have a complete idea of our process. We will cover most of the important questions. In case we miss to cover some of your questions, please feel free to share them after the session with your placement office and we will have them answered. Maya, I will take them as per section and combine a few questions so that for the sake of saving time. First question is, can a fresher select his or her domain and will he or she be trained as per company requirements?
Okay, thanks, Vandana. From a Gen Z, I mean, what we call as the entry-level talent today is the generation Cognizant as a terminology and a program. So to the question on can you select the domain, most of the time it is driven by a demand. So based on your area of education, your stream, the certifications you have done, your test scores and your coding, the code debugging score, etc. We have a AI algorithm that kind of maps you to the right business unit or a service line for the kind of technology and work that we provide to the customers there. So mostly it is driven through the organizational demand. But after you move into that, if you're interested in working in some other area, you could learn and be ready and apply for those kind of roles subsequently.
Okay. So when it comes to Gen Z rounds, right, can you explain, Maya, what is the narrative in terms of situation-based writing concept? Is it the first round a selection or an elimination process? And is there any sectional cutoff and negative marking?
Yeah, so narrative round is not a elimination round. There is no sectional cutoff for narrative round. You would see in our the document that we had sent to all of you, you will see that in round one, there is aptitude as well as code debugging as the only two modules or two parts of that round one. You wouldn't see narrative there because it's not a section with an elimination or anything. What you can expect in narrative is a set of scenario-based questions. For example, I'll read out one or two sample questions that could come in the narrative round. The first sample is like this, goes like this. Sometimes our fellow students / colleagues do inspire us in creating a life habit that can be reading, exercising, reflect on learnings, etc., etc. Have you ever had such an inspiration who led to instilling one life habit in you? What is that habit? How do you practice it? Another question is, at every stage in life, we come across people who inspire us by their way of doing various things in assignments and classes. When was the last time you took such an inspiration and what did you start practicing? Are you still doing it? These are the kind of sample questions that you will get in narrative round. The objective of narrative round is for you to think and articulate what you would respond in such a scenario, or what is your experience in that scenario. And as you know, we have removed the verbal round. And this narrative round, it's a 250 words answer, which goes into your interview round. So the relevance of this is for interview process. And we couldn't have introduced this in the interview, then that would mean you will have to again join in the interview session before and submit and all of that. So to avoid all of that is why we introduced this in the round one itself. So to clarify, there is no cutoff score for that. It is not an elimination section. It is only an input to the interview.
Okay. Can a Gen Z candidate work on niche technologies like AI, ML, IoT, cloud, or blockchain, or is it only for Gen Z next?
See, it is for Gen Z next. If you have to ask me as an immediate answer, I would give. But if you are a Gen Z and if you did internship in an area of AI or IoT, then you could work on those new areas as an employee as well. This year itself, there are around, I think, 1,200 interns who did internship with Cognizant, the campus selects who did internship with Cognizant. They did various projects in AI and ML and IoT, etc. And so they all got an opportunity now. Who have joined us have got an opportunity to continue in those skills in the customer engagement. So it is possible if you do that 4 months internship and develop those skills. And to do an internship in an AI area, some amount of prior knowledge in technology will be important. So if you have some skilling done, some training and development in those technology areas, then that will help.
Okay, great. Maya, there is a lot of debate around how this year is going to pan out. Will the numbers look good? Is the pandemic going to affect recruitment in any way? Can you just give us some perspective on that?
Yeah. So if you are following Cognizant and our growth in the last few months itself, right, you will see that we have been able to tide over some of the challenges that we faced in through COVID as well as the ransomware attack we had, and we are doing extremely well. What I understand from our leadership, Cognizant's leadership, is that there is a lot coming our way. Being a technology services company, one of the world's best technology services company, we are getting a lot of business for technology transformation. So the demand is there. We are going to hire same amount of numbers like we did last year. Actually, the demand is even more high for all of you to be a part of the technology work and then transform customer or solve customer problems. So the demand is very high and the numbers will be extremely good this year as well.
Okay, so when we talk about internship, right, there is a lot of clarity that is needed on if we can select our own internship area of specialization, or is it something that you will mandate for us? And what kind of training will be given during this period?
Okay. So many of you might know already that we Cognizant maybe is the only company that is giving such high scaled internship. We did it in 2019 and we did it in 2020 as well. In 2019, around 2,300 of campus selects went through internship, and 2020 around 5,300. And of the 5,300, almost 80%, 70% of them will be joining us by November. Before December, we would have around 80% joined. What will happen in the internship? The way it works is once you once you have accepted our offer, from December first week the internship will start, and this is primarily for South colleges. It will start in December, and we will intake them before Jan end. I mean, the North and the other regions will start joining from Jan first week to Jan end, and that's the period the internship joining starts, and it goes for 4 months minimum. How you get assigned to an internship is based on purely from a business unit demand. So, for example, in 2021, when you join, you will complete your graduation and start joining from May end or June. We know that what kind of business demand will be there from June to December of 2021. So we know that, okay, in digital business, in artificial intelligence area, there are 500 Gen Cs to be infused in 2021 H2, that is between June and December. So we will look at 500 of the campus selects to go through an internship in certain areas, a little more than that from December. Same way, if you take the application development and maintenance area, which is primarily Java, .NET, and multiple other full stack skills, we will know that, okay, there we need 2,000. So we will have to identify a set of 2,000 from the campus selects to go there. So it's a purely demand-based internship, because we generally don't believe in training in just a set of things and then integrating with business once you join. We don't do like that. We are tightly integrated from the internship itself, because the goal is for you to be productive from the day you join Cognizant. So all the interns have joined in the last 3 months. Because of COVID, there has been a kind of a skill gap, and we are doing a bridge course of 4 to 6 weeks. But otherwise, the objective of internship is for you to be not going through any training when you join Cognizant, but to move directly into business. And so that you are productive and your growth and your learning, everything is much faster. I'll also say that between this December to June, when we do the internship, it's going to be 100% virtual. It is going to be a bit flexible because you are not going to be in the Cognizant premises during the internship, which means, unlike last year, the non-computer science IT branches also could have an opportunity to do internship. We are going to have a certain process to be followed, certain steps to be completed. There will be assessments, there will be business unit interviews, all that. It will be kind of mirroring the training program that you would have gone through, training which has a project readiness and BU integration and interviews, etc. We are kind of mirroring that in the internship. So you will have to go through all of that, but it's flexible. You could do it in whichever time you want in the day, but 160 hours in a month will be mandatory to be spent in learning and being ready for Cognizant. So that's how it will be. And from an infrastructure perspective, you would be utilizing your personal laptops and desktops for the internship as much possible. Wherever we know there is a high-end infra requirement, we are looking at whether we can provide you that in very specific cases. And there will be stipend, and which has been 12,000, which you all know, and it will continue to be the same.
Okay, that answers all the internship related questions, Maya. Thank you for that. The next question is, what will Cognizant do if we want to pursue higher education? Will you support us in that? And apart from that, what are the skilling opportunities we have if we want to additionally equip ourselves?
Okay, I'll answer the second and then come to the first. So we believe that you are all going to join. I mean, you are joining a technology organization which is changing at a pace that none of us could even imagine. What I mean by that is, like you would have heard in the first part of the segment, right? Almost 40% of our revenues are from skills that never existed, which means, existed in the last 5 years, which means you all have to be learning new things, being ready for Cognizant for the future today itself, because you might work on a skill 18 months or 2 years from now, which was not even there, which could be completely new. So the demand for you to be a continuous learner, continuously upskill, cross-skill, and reskill for the customer demand will be a continuous demand from you. So to that extent, the skilling programs that Cognizant has, and I was heading the Cognizant India Academy for past few years, and I know that how we have shaped that entire structure of skilling and development for anyone. So you have something called as a My Learning Studio, where you can go and learn SAP or Oracle or Salesforce or Python or data science, anything. You have access to some of the world's best learning content for you to be certified. You have access to multiple cloud certifications. Everything is at your fingertip. I mean, that's the kind of expectation we have from our employees as well, to be skilled and be ready for any kind of new skills. So you will have access to a lot of learning content and platforms to develop your hands-on capability. You will also be expected to complete certain learning goals as a part of your performance appraisal and all that in Cognizant. And it is in your hands to take the best utilization of all of that. And it's not just technology skills, right? You could be a project management, program management expert, mindfulness, meditation, anything. You have access to the entire enterprise catalog of some of the world's best content. It could be even design thinking, all of that will be available. So you could utilize that and be ready for whichever area that you want to be ready for. And from coming to the higher education aspect, today we used to have that model of once you join, you could do higher education through Cognizant itself, through the partnerships we had. But in the last few years, we have kind of not pursued that for various reasons. But because of a high demand from students, we are looking at bringing that back in a much more different way, which will be more realistically influential for you. And when you join by June 2021, mostly we would have that design ready. That's our hope. So that's a project that you're working on. So hopefully we'll have it by June 21.
Okay. So this question is something that our PPT would have answered. For those who haven't, is there any bond amount and bond period before joining the company? I think, Maya, you have to elaborate that we are the only company that does not have any bond, right?
Yeah. So we are the only company that do not have a bond, and we do not have any such tying together of your whole system to Cognizant, right? It is you. We just believe in trusting you, and no, all you have to just come with is the commitment and passion to be a leader in technology world. So there are no such bonds with us.
Okay, so can you elaborate a bit on work-life balance, especially in the current context of COVID-19 pandemic?
See, in a IT world, I believe that it's very tough to find a work-life balance if you are a highly achieving. I mean, if you have a highly ambitious goal, and if you are in a technology world, you can think for it yourself, right? Because you need to continuously invest in your upskilling. You are a billable, or you're working in a customer engagement, so you'll have to continuously transform that engagement, which will demand a lot of extra effort that you need to put in. That's my view, and I've been with Cognizant for 24 years, as you know by now. But if you want to take it a bit balanced way in different pockets of your career, you could clearly do that. It's not that no, everybody has to run at a pace and no, go after some very ambitious goals all the time. So work-life balance, purely in a technology world, it's hard to clearly define, I would say, but it's in your hands to define what do you mean by the work-life balance and do it. Now, coming to COVID or non-COVID, this existed. Whether it is work from home or work from office, work-life balance or the demands that more than work-life balance, I would say the demands from the industry, demands from the customer has been always high. That's how I would put it on that question.
Thanks, Maya. So, is there any clarity you can give on performance management and salary increases? Is that how frequent is that going to be?
See, we have been operating on various modified models, looking at performance based on certain performance and skills. And you might know that most of the organizations have something called as the skill allowance, right? If you possess some premium skills, then you will get a skill allowance. So your pay has multiple components. There are some standard parts, there are some variable parts, and based on the performance and the skills that you acquire and demonstrate in your project, there is an opportunity for you to gain more and grow faster and all that. It's not completely no kind of black and white at this point. We are working on certain models to revise our pay structures to reward performance on specific technology and skills. And once you are joining us, you will get to know more about it. All I want to tell you is, think of your career in the technology industry as a 30 to 35 or a longer one, right? So in that time, what is the kind of growth, what is the kind of balance that you want to bring in multiple things, all that will drive towards the salary increases and all that you will see. So if you are a Java expert and then now you're going to move into data science, there is going to be some shift, right? So you will take some risk in saying that, okay, I'm shifting technology, or I'm going to a different field, and I know that, okay, this will pay me more, but it's going to take some time. So those are some conscious calls that you will have to take. Don't worry too much about the initial 1 year, 2 year. Will you get X amount more here, there, and all that? Everything will kind of even out if you are, kind of putting that effort and showing that commitment to develop yourself for a technology industry.
Okay, so Maya, this question seems to be getting repeated. If I use a pen and paper in front of the system, will I still be seen as somebody doing malpractice?
Okay, see, the assessments or the test, everything is going to be remote proctored, as you know. If you're using a pen and paper, ensure that it is within the view of the camera, because for us, we go purely by the red flags that are raised by a remote proctoring system, right? A web proctoring system. And I have seen many times when you look into different directions and when you look down, and then we don't know, there are multiple reasons for which you do that. So if you are genuinely using a pen and pencil and doing some workings, then ensure that your camera is capturing that. That's what I would say.
Okay. So, one question on the case study, and then we can wrap up, Maya. Very specifically, a student has very passionately written. I've seen your Monsanto video and the work that you do for agriculture related IoT work. If I am in India, how do you think it can extrapolate and kind of help the Indian agriculture industry?
Very interesting question. I remember in the last year placement talk also something similar came from when I was presenting in a college. See, that's our hope and that's our aspiration as well to apply a lot of things that we do for our customers in the US and Europe. Can we replicate that in India? But at this point, right, Cognizant does not have as much as India uh, customers, specifically in the agriculture segment, as much as we would have liked to have. And that has been the way the organization philosophy has been when it started. Right? We are a US-based company that is having a lot of customers in the US and Europe and other regions, not much in India. But in the last 5 years, I have seen that there is a lot of investment we as an organization is making to develop our India customer segment itself and investing in the development of India itself. So maybe another year or 2 years you will see what you saw for the Monsanto customer being applied in India as well, and a lot of farmers benefiting out of it. There's an intent to do it.
Okay. So, since we have 2 minutes more, Maya, what would be your final 2 cents to this set of students who are eagerly waiting for the campus season?
Yeah, before I say that, I didn't see any question on Gen Z next. So did we miss that, or there are no questions on the Gen Z next?
Gen Z next, no visible questions.
Okay, but yeah, just I want to say that if any of you in this, I'm sure I see that around 17,000 students have logged into the session. If you are having certain technology skills, if you know C, C Sharp, know Java, Python, etc., you know that you will score high in your code debugging and your aptitude test. Prepare for the Gen Z next, because it's a great opportunity that we want to give to campus students, specifically to attract the best who are ready for a technology transformation already, right? And what we look for is your capability in programming, your coding constructs, your output, and then how you're able to explain that problem statement, etc. So as a team, Cognizant would want a lot of you to be ready for that and getting a lot of offers in that segment as well. As a closing comment, what I would say is, the need in the technology industry, the demand for you is there. You just need to come and join the organization like Cognizant. That will help build careers with great experience working with customers in a technology transformation segment itself. So just have that, leave a lot of questions for us to answer, and we will figure out how to shape you through the process of a career with Cognizant, right? Rest assured about that. A lot of things you will only have to experience and see how we differentiate. So just have that bend and eagerness to be a part of a technology transformation of a customer and be with a technology service organization, and then there are enough and more opportunities with us. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Maya, for all that you have shared with the students. I'm sure all of them will be benefited. Students, all the very best for a great season ahead, and we hope to see most of you on board with us at Cognizant. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.